Hello and welcome to this LinkedIn live event. Today we've got a special guest, 𝗕𝗂𝗶 𝗠𝗲. She was one of our group. It's actually group 11 that we were on with the Gold Mentoring Program. There were 4 senior business analysts. There was Dora, Gonse, Matabelo, and 𝗕𝗂𝗶. And today we are going to have 𝗕𝗂𝗶 on this LinkedIn live event, and she's going to tell us all about her experiences of Pillar 4 in the Gold Mentoring Program. There are 4 pillars, and Dora did Pillar 1, Gonse Pillar 2, Matabelo Pillar 3, and 𝗕𝗂𝗶 is going to do Pillar 4. So without further ado, I would just like her to say a few words.
Hello, my name is 𝗕𝗂𝗶. I'm the lead business analyst. And yeah, it was quite an exciting journey. Not only exciting, but also empowering. But we'll share a lot as the session goes on. Thanks, Mark.
Wonderful, great. Okay, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining me for this event. Let's give some value to everybody who is watching. Right, so let's go through the slides. Now, basically, we're going to talk about business analysts and, what problems you might have in securing your next high-paying role. So basically, do you feel stuck at the moment? And if so, where do you feel stuck? Are you able to take consistent action? Are you lacking structure and accountability, perhaps? Are you busy but not being very productive? Are you avoiding uncomfortable growth steps? In other words, are you stuck in your comfort zone in a role that you've been? Maybe it's a perm role. Maybe you've been there for 5 years, 7 years. I know my brother was in a role for 32 years, nice in your comfort zone. Or are you willing to, take an opportunity and go and secure a high-paying role at another company? And that's where our mentoring program helps. That's what it's focused on. Okay. Now, what happens if you could, move to consistent execution, build real momentum in your career, become proactive instead of reactive? So reactive is basically sitting in your comfort zone, waiting for things to happen. Okay. And a lot can happen. What could happen is that you could be made redundant. And if you're not proactive, then you're just going to, wait until your last day at work, hoping that it won't happen to you. And then basically, you're going to get let go. And then you need to start by securing your next role. And there's a lot of action steps in securing your next role. You need to go and update your CV with your current role. You need to update your LinkedIn profile, your profiles on the job site portals. You need to find suitable roles. You need to apply for roles. You need to prepare for interviews. You need to have interviews. You need to negotiate the terms and conditions of their offer. Then you need to, pass the credit check and the criminal report. And then you need to, get your start date and then actually get started in your new role. Now, if you're a business analyst like 𝗕𝗂𝗶 and you're a senior business analyst, then you should be, showcase yourself as a person of authority. In other words, in your current role, if you've been there 10 years, you started off a junior and then you become a BA and a senior BA, they're still going to look at you as if you're that junior. So if you're going to start, getting promoted and being a lead business analyst like 𝗕𝗂𝗶 is, and you're going to start delegating tasks to other people and peer reviewing their work, they're not going to see you as a person of authority. But when you start your new role, you start on a clean slate. They don't know who you are. So if you can start in there with full confidence and a person of authority, then that is very positive. You can take control of your growth, but more importantly, your income. So if you're stuck in a role, maybe you've been there 5 years and you started on, I don't know what kind of salary, and then you got a 4% or a 5% increase every year. But meanwhile, you've gone and done your PhD or your MBA, or you've got some new certificates in business analysis. You could have joined FTI, or you could have joined the IIBA and got your CBAP, or the BCS and got your International Diploma in Business Analysis. So now you've added more value to your work. Also, when you joined the company, maybe you didn't know the industry really well. Maybe you joined and you got a role like 𝗕𝗂𝗶 in the banking industry or the financial services industry. So in the meantime, in those 5 years, you have gained industry knowledge. All right. And now you feel that you know the company well, you know the vision statement, the mission statement, you know the customers, you know the vendors, the stakeholders, the software applications, the cloud, the technologies that they use. So what happens is you're now much more productive, and now you can get a lot more work done in less amount of time and a lot more quality work. Well, your increase of 5% per annum will not reflect, that they actually value you in your role. And if you were to go to your line manager after 5 years and ask for a 50% or a 75% increase in your salary to reflect on the value that you add in your company, that's not going to happen. So the only way to improve your growth and your income is to leave your current role and secure a high-paying role at another company. Okay. So are you currently actively searching for a new role? And if you have, then how many jobs have you actually applied for? Not found or anything like that, but applied for in the last 30 days. So it's a very important question to ask, because you're not going to get a job interview if you don't apply for any jobs. Okay. A little bit about the Gold Mentoring Program. So we have got different stages. Sorry, that should say pillar. That's my mistake in my slide. It's pillar 4, expanding authority. And this is what we are going to get 𝗕𝗂𝗧 to talk a little bit about. So let me just do a little bit of a presentation on what 𝗕𝗂𝗧 has attained in her very long career, 22 years as an IT expert, catching up to me with my 42 years. She's past halfway already. But 𝗕𝗂𝗧 is also a mentor for the IIBA. She's a speaker at different conferences. In 2012, she spoke at IIBA. Last year in Johannesburg, she spoke for the 3rd time at the BA Summit for the IIBA. I also spoke there, so we spoke together. She's a thought leader, and she's climbed the corporate ladder all the way up to a senior business analyst. Okay. Now, let me get 𝗕𝗂𝗧 on screen, and then 𝗕𝗂𝗧, if you can go through these 3 questions one by one, not that slide, that one over here, and just let the audience and the viewers know a little bit more about you. So, firstly, my apologies. What has changed for you since starting the Gold Mentorship Program?
What's changed is my confidence level and the way that I perceive myself. I've always looked at myself as a senior BA, and there is one assignment that requires a lot of effort, a lot of thinking, and a lot of being true to yourself. And as I was doing that assignment, I realized that with the roles and activities and the functions that I have been performing for the best part of my career, I'm actually at a level of a lead business analyst. So what I found is that, everywhere I applied, I was applying for for senior business analyst roles, but the program helped me to identify myself as a lead business analyst based on the functions that I have been performing, both in my career and outside of my career.
Brilliant, wonderful. And how has taking consistent action impacted your confidence?
It has helped me to be more productive in my work, and to also make sure that the quality of the deliverables that I put out there, every single time I check and cross-check to make sure that they are perfect. Because through this program, we learned that there are 2 ways of doing things. There is the less than perfect way and the perfect way. So as a senior business analyst or as a lead business analyst, and if you want to be an authority in your game, you need to make sure that you do things the perfect way every time.
Brilliant, fully agreed. So what 𝗕𝗂𝗧 is referring to is the deliverables at work. So we need to produce as is to be use case epics, technical documentation, requirements gathering spreadsheets, and all these kind of things. Those are the deliverables. There are 2 very important components to every deliverable. That is the content. So it needs to be complete and valid and checked through. And then there is the look and feel. And that has got to do with your spelling, your grammar, the alignment, your font, your abbreviation, the use of punctuation, all those kind of things. And what happens is people are just a little bit lazy and they don't want to proofread their entire deliverable before submitting it, or they're not proud of their work, or they procrastinate. So if you know that you've got to submit a business case or a business requirement specification to the business sponsor next week, Thursday, and you just put it aside, and then along comes Tuesday, and now you've got to go and populate this thing, and you're working late at night Tuesday, and you work Wednesday late at night, and then you just struggle to complete the content, then you don't go and proofread the entire document before you submit, and then it looks like, what do they call it, the dog's breakfast. So really well done. So yes, you did really well in that part of the mentoring program. What does expanding authority mean to you personally?
Expanding authority to me, it really means, having the growth mindset, making sure that you know where you are every time, making sure that you connect with the right people, and making sure that the quality of your deliverables is perfect every time. And also increasing your network, connecting with the right people who will help you to move forward, as well as making contributions to others. Like in the case of Mark and I, we are both mentors, and here I'm sitting as a mentee. So I'm expanding my authority in that regard. Thanks, Mark.
Brilliant, brilliant. We are never too old to learn. I myself have got 14 mentors. I had one before I started BA Masterminds in April 2019. I had one before that in property, because I've owned 22 properties before. I'm a serial property investor to invest in passive income streams. But since then, I've appointed 13 mentors to get where I am. We're never too old to learn from others. And what I must admit is I learned a lot more what not to do than what to do from my mentors. And that's why I've used all of that to get where I am today. Now, here is an image of 𝗚汐𝗹𝗱. She's at the BA Summit. And this is where expanding authority comes in, which is the theme for Pillar 4. So during your role at work, you need to deal with high-profile stakeholders. These people are highly educated, very intelligent. We need to treat them with respect. We need to articulate ourselves very well in business analysis terminology. That's why it helps really a lot to study the theory, get your CBAP, so that you know what you're talking about. But basically, 𝗚汐𝗹𝗱 deals with, as a lead business analyst contractor for a major bank, she needs to deal with senior stakeholders. So she needs to exude confidence and show authority and be able to, articulate herself very well. So she's done this 3 times, as I mentioned before, for the IIBA, where she stands up in front of a large audience, but also during instances like this. And this is where the Gold Mentoring Program helps as well to increase your confidence levels to speak, to senior stakeholders, to come onto the LinkedIn Live event like this and to present. It improves a lot as well with your confidence. Wouldn't you agree, 𝗚汐𝗹𝗱?
Hundreds. I agree with you 100%. Every time you do it, the confidence bar goes up.
Yes, it does. All right. So who is this Gold Mentoring Program for? Okay. So there are prerequisites to join. You need a university degree or a diploma, at least 1 year experience as a business analyst. So not an intern, paid for business analyst, either reside in one of the regions. So I cover the UK region, the USA region, and Australia. We've got Marcus Ulekang, who has joined us 2 months ago, and he is the regional director for Canada. And then we've got Opalaka, who is the regional director for South Africa, who's just recently joined us. So you must reside in one of those areas. We are looking to expand further to the Benelux area, and then to Nigeria as well. So those are the next on our target. And you want to move to a higher level and a better paid job. We've got many different products and services. We've got silver, bronze, gold, impact, platinum, and all different products. So what we do is we see which one is suitable for you, and then we sign you up for that package that's best suited for you. All right, what's in gold? Just a quick overview. It's 4 pillars. So there are the names of the 4 pillars. Let me just put 𝗚汐𝗹𝗱 and I to the one side so we can have a good look at the slide. But basically, each pillar has got 2 stages. So there are 8 stages, pillar 1, stage 1 and 2, pillar 2, stage 3 and 4, etc. There are 62 lessons and assignments to complete, right? It takes about 65 to 75 hours, depending on your experience. So in the case of 𝗕𝗂𝗧, probably took around 75 hours to complete the gold mentoring program because she's got much more experience. So she's got more that I need to elicit from her subconscious and digitize it so we can complete her LinkedIn profile, her short CV, her long CV, and the 4 job site portal. So 𝗕𝗂𝗧's got a lot of experience, so therefore it took a little bit longer to complete, but that's roughly how long it takes, about 65 to 75 hours. And then also included, so that's all through the portal. We've got an online portal. I'll show you just now what it looks like. So it's 24/7, 365, access to the secure membership portal. The program is actually a 4-month program. So it's 5 to 6 hours of your time per week, and then 8 mentoring sessions, 1 per stage. So we have a mentoring session, you do stage 1, a mentoring session, you do stage 2, and those are on Zoom with me. We're considering switching to Teams, but at the moment it's still on Zoom. So that's basically what is covered in gold. All right, here's just a slideshow. I've actually updated this. There are so many benefits included to gold, but there are some of them right there if you want to give that a quick read. All right, moving on swiftly. I am aware of the time. Who am I? So I'm just going to rush through this. I started my IT career a long time ago. I've had 25 jobs in my checkered history on 6 different continents in the world, 15 of them contracts, 8 of them in the UK. My most recent contract was for the Western Cape government in Cape Town, where I was a senior business analyst contractor. That was my most recent one up until February 2019. And then I started BAM in April 2019. I am a BCS, Certified Business Analyst. I received my certifications from the British Computer Society. It is called the BCS International Diploma in Business Analysis. You can do it on Zoom. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 has done his entire course on Zoom from South Africa. And basically, it's a 10-day course. It's quite pricey, but we can get a 72% discount if you get a quotation for us, because we forwarded 43 students already to the Knowledge Academy in the United Kingdom who all signed up, and we get it for a really good discounted price. So I've got 4 of those modules. I did them in 2015 and 2016 in person in London. I'm also a certified Prince 2, though. I've done my foundation and practitioner in project management. I haven't done any agile in project management. I've been mentoring now for over 7 years in business analysis. And I also was a university lecturer for first-year students. I had 42 students, no curriculum. I had to actually develop the curriculum from scratch, business skills. Luckily, I've owned and operated 11 companies in the past, so I know quite a lot about business skills and how to run companies. So I had to prepare all my curriculum, and then I had to mentor all these students. All right. Now let's talk about the main reason why we are here, and this is 𝗕𝗂𝗧's experience on Pillar 4. So let's go and have a look. This is basically what Pillar 4 is all about. And 𝗕𝗂𝗧, if you can tell us a little bit about your experience of working through Pillar 4, just on a very high level.
Yeah, this was quite exciting for me. There are certain things that I knew, and there are certain things that I didn't know. And what I liked most about the productivity and proactive module is that it outlines what you need to do when you are starting at a new environment and you are new. You just need to be proactive in terms of getting yourself onboarded, in terms of putting together the job description and understanding that prioritizing your work is not necessarily your responsibility per se. You need to be able to have the wisdom to align it, or to hand it over, to give it over to your line manager, so that you can be able to know what to work on first. And the templates that are contained in there, for me, it was for the first time I see them. And yeah, it's tools that I will be employing in my work going forward. And then I also worked on the time management one, where I needed to look at some of the things that are time wasters. You know, when we work, sometimes there are notifications that come from all places, WhatsApp, Facebook, and all that. So in that module, I found it fantastic that it's making sure that you work your 8 hours and you put those kind of things aside. There are things that you need to look at. There are things that you need to look at, things that you can automate, things that you can delegate, and things that you can eliminate at all to make sure that you are adding value. And one of the things that also was a key highlight for me is learning to apply 35 to do the work of 35 hours to reduce it to 35 hours. And when you eliminate all these time wasters, you will be able to do that. It's achievable. I tried it and I've seen it working.
Brilliant, fantastic. So that's quite a lot there. Yes, effective time management. So what 𝗕𝗃𝗧 is referring to is we make sure that you're proactive and highly productive right from day one in your new role, be it perm, consulting, or contracting. So according to your contract of employment, when you get an offer, we help you to negotiate 8 possible things in the contract to make it more favorable, because as we know, these contracts are never in our favor. They're always in favor of the end client, the company. So we have got the opportunity, once they've decided to offer us the role, then we've got an opportunity to actually negotiate the terms and conditions of the contract. And that's where one of them comes, where you negotiate more money and less time required to work per week. So if they offer you 37.5, you just try and negotiate down to 35 hours. And then after 35 hours, we all get a corporate laptop. It'll always be Windows. It'll never be a Mac. And then basically you need to know Windows really well so that you're fast and you're efficient on a Windows computer. Then you also need to learn Microsoft Office really well. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Visio, Outlook, all these apps. That's why all our assignments are in those 5 Office tools, so that you can get really efficient through practice, through look and feel, through content and things like that. And then also you want to employ our productivity tools, and then also AI, with Copilot and ChatGPT. And if you combine them all together, after about a month or 2 in your new role, you should be able to get your role down to working 25 hours. And that's how a lot of our masterminds, 14, in fact, out of the 133 that I've mentored to date, have actually got 2 roles at the same time. They do 25 hours in the one, 25 hours in the other one. They're fully remote. So if you're working one role 40 hours a week and you drive to work for an hour and drive back for an hour, that's already a 50-hour week. So it's all about being proactive, highly productive, and that's a big part of Pillar 4. Okay, great. Thanks for that info. Now comes the big question. Are you ready? What is one specific action you started taking during this program that you were not doing before, and how has that changed your results and your mindset?
I used to work from 8 until 5, and I realized that it's taking a toll on my body because I don't have a help. I don't have anybody at home, so it's just a lot. So I shifted from 1 hour, starting from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and I realized that since I started working from 7 o'clock, I achieve a lot in my day, because between 8 and 9, there are no interference. There's no Teams call where somebody says that you are green and they just call you to ask you a random question or to ask you something that they need assistance with. So that has also given me more time to do my personal things between 4 or let me just say after 4. Because previously I would knock off at 5 and then shops are closing. I need to get some of the things for the kids and all that. But right now I'm so comfortable, and I feel that I am really achieving more, both from a work perspective as well as from a household perspective.
Wonderful, fantastic. Yes, so when you're a contractor, or even if you're a permanent member of staff and you've negotiated the terms and conditions of your employment contract before you sign and you start your new role, you can arrange that you do flexi time. In other words, there's going to be some core hours when they need you to work. I remember this clearly from our last role at the Western Cape government. It was 9:30 until 3:30 were our core hours, and you had to be present at work. Those days, it was before COVID-19, so we were still, in person. There was no remote work when I worked in Cape Town. And basically, we'd have these core hours, but then you can start, just as 𝗕𝗃𝗧 said, you can start at 7 and you can end at 4. And then you can, some people are Some of my students, they wake up at 5 and they already want to make calls. Marcus Urukang, our mentor in Canada, he's awake at 5 o'clock and he's WhatsApping me and we're messaging. So you need to try, family, in my opinion, comes first. And second comes your work. So you need to make sure that you're there for your family, and then if you can work flexi time, that's fantastic. All right, wonderful. That was a great answer. Let's be moving on to the next slide. So in my opinion, most business analysts don't have a clear action plan. Okay, you're kind of like second guessing what your next move will be, but you've got no direction. So you're like a huge ship without a steering wheel, and you're just going to crash into this iceberg and sink like the Titanic. You also don't track your progress, so which is really important. So we've got a job tracker tool that when you apply for jobs, you update the job tracker so that you can I can hold you accountable to apply for the jobs that we agreed that you're going to apply for in 2 weeks and things, but you also repeat the same mistakes. Now, this is where the Gold Mentoring Program comes in. There are 62 lessons and assignments. We lay the solid foundation for you to base the rest of your career on. It's like building blocks. The first 5 stages are all about laying the solid foundation on which you can base the rest of your career on. And then stage 6, you start applying for jobs. Stage 7, negotiating the contract, getting ready for work. 8, being proactive and learning AI and tools like that. So it's a structured plan. I created this course in August 2021. It was version 1. And since then, we've got progress reflection and self, we're going to go through that. Just now what 𝗕𝗂𝗧𝗧 said was her progress reflection, but I thrive on feedback, constructive criticism. I want to see what in the program works, what doesn't work. I also am very well in tune with fourth industrial revolution techniques like AI and ML and ChatGPT and all these kind of things, and we embed them in the course. So that's how the course has evolved over time, and we're on version 7 at the moment. So it's an entire blueprint. We do personalize it for each of our mentees, our gold mentees, but at least you've got no guesswork. You've got a clear track. All you need to do is do lesson 1, complete the assignment, submit the assignment, mark it as complete, and move on to the next one. It's as easy as that. So it's a complete action plan, if you were, and I hold you accountable to complete the action steps in our agreed timelines. All right, next question for you, 𝗕𝗂𝗧. This is about the progress reflection. Okay, so I asked the question in the progress reflection at the end of each pillar asked, what are you enjoying most? And you mentioned the clarity that unfolds as I go through the pillars. Maybe just enlighten us a little bit on this clarity.
Okay, when I started this program, I felt that when you feel like you're struggling to get to be clear in terms of the role that you want to apply for. So I've been applying for project management roles. I've been applying for product owner roles and sometimes senior business analyst roles, but at the same time, I would feel like I'm still a senior business analyst role. So there's no point in applying for the same level role because I wanted a promotion. I was feeling a little bit stagnant. So when I started with the program, first thing is to understand who am I, what is it that I'm about, and what is it that I want. And there's 7 levels deep module or an assignment, I'll call it an assignment. It helped me to get clarity that, you know what, I don't need to be all over the show and applying for every role that I feel it will propel me forward. And I came up to a level where I decided that looking at my experience, looking at the contributions that I have made in people's lives and in organizations, I'm actually looking for a strategic execution role in the business analysis sphere within financial services. So it helped me in every module. It helped me to clarify that role in terms of where do I need to be? Where is my true north? And at this point in time, I'm no longer applying for anything and everything that I feel it will propel me forward. I am applying with great focus. That is the clarity that I am talking about. And each assignment that I do, it forces me to align to my true north.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Fantastic. I see you've come a real long way since we first met 4 months ago. Okay, so what 𝗕𝗂𝗃 is referring to, one of the modules in Pillar 1 is the goal setting mastery. Now, I've presented at the IIBA 2023 at the BA Summit in Cape Town. I did a 4.5-hour workshop on goal setting mastery. I had 25 students, and I actually used the 7 levels deep assignment. We go deeper and deeper into your purpose. Why are you here on this planet Earth? And it's like an onion, and we're peeling back the layers to get right to the core of your purpose. And then once we know your purpose, we're able to set your goals. So we look at your 3-year or your long-term career goals. Now, a lot of people talk about 5-year goals and 10-year goals. That's ridiculous. With the right mentor and the right program and the right attitude, you can achieve any goals that you want to within 3 years. Well, unless you want to go to Mars with Elon Musk, or you want to be an open heart surgeon with Chris Barnard, like that's going to take you a lot longer. But if you want to be perhaps a principal business analyst or a business architect, or just like 𝗕𝗂𝗃, a lead business analyst, then we set that as your 1-year goals. And then we look, where do you need to be in 1 year from now to know you're on track to achieving those long-term goals? And that's a very big part of this mentoring program. Everything in this mentoring program is to get you to achieve these high but achievable 1-year goals. And then we break it down into your short-term goals. And that is the start date of your new role. That is your short-term goal. And then we focus the entire first 5 pillars in the goal mentoring program on attaining your short-term goal. 6 stages, I do apologize. The first 6 stages, so that, you know, once you achieve your short-term goal, you're on track to achieving your medium-term goal, and then you're on track to achieving your long-term goal. And that then sets your true north, as 𝗕𝗂𝗃 there correctly pointed out, and that's what she's learned. It's very important to know in which direction to point your ship, because as you know, if you've got this huge ship and everybody on board, your whole family and your friends are relying on you, and then you turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, it's going to take a long time to get there. But if you point your ship in the wrong direction, and then you want to turn it all the way back again somewhere else, or you've changed your mind, then it's going to be very difficult to do that. And you might as well start the whole mentoring program again. All right, so that was a great answer there. Let's go and have a look at the next question that we got from 𝗕𝗂𝗃. What would you say to a business analyst who has a clarity and a plan, but are still struggling to take consistent action? What could they do?
In my view, I would say enroll for the BA Gold Mentoring Program, because I have seen it helping me. There are certain things that I thought I knew, and I realized that no, it was in my head that I knew, and I don't know that much. So I have improved so much. If some of you looked at my profile LinkedIn, I think 3 months back, you will see that there is huge improvement. So this program, it really helps one align with their true north, and it also gives you the tools to help you to get where you want to get to, and to help recruiters to start headhunting you. So far, I've been approached by, I think, about 4 people since I updated my LinkedIn profile, and it's 4 recruiters. There hasn't been any tangible solution as such, but it's getting there. So if you want to be headhunted and you need accountability, Mark is the person to go to at the stage.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. On that note, let us quickly share your LinkedIn profile and see how far you've actually come. In this mentoring program, you can see how well 𝗕𝗂𝗃 is promoting herself. A nice professional profile picture, professional, friendly, you know, not shoulders squared to the camera, very approachable, a powerful headline that she has here, all the necessary contact information, a great big network with followers, 121 similar ones, a detailed about section. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can see that 𝗕𝗂𝗃 has come a long way in joining the program. Let me just show you the link. So we've shared the link to the website. This is the landing page for our Gold Mentoring Program. You can go ahead and book a call with 𝗚𝗃, a career assessment call. It's a proven blueprint. You can find out all information. It's quite a lot. about it, all the different pillars that we go through. Here are some success stories. We're hoping to add 𝗕𝗂𝗏 on here pretty soon as well. We can keep scrolling. There are so many success stories here. There's 𝗕𝗂𝗏 as well. He's also joined the program in 2023. 𝗕𝗂𝗏 completed it as well. Reasons why to join. All things about it. You can get started and book a call. And yeah, you can actually register to take a sneak peek and go and have a look to see exactly what is inside the Gold Mentoring Program. So if we just have a quick look at that as well, I'm just going to share that on the screen, what the sneak peek looks like. Let's go and have a look at that. Now, in the sneak peek here, we have got a video describing what it's all about, but here are also some testimonial videos of 26 of our students that completed the Gold Mentoring Program. It is a compilation or a collection that's only 30 minutes long, and it's 90 seconds each. So Andre, Moyo, Tando, Funke, Frank, all the different people that have done the Gold Mentoring Program. Go and have a look at Inam. He did fantastically well. He moved from 520 pounds per day to 1,375 pounds a day. He's making 630,000 rand every month after tax. He's doing really well. And then if you like one of these, there's 𝗕𝗏𝗏 as well. If you like one of these, if they resonate with you, you can go and watch the entire thing down the side. And then you can actually get started on the course doing stage 1. You can start with the 7 levels deep. You can click on the link here, and then you can go and learn all about 7 levels deep. So there's a short little video. How long is the video? It is 6 minutes. So I tell you what to do, why to do it, and how to do the assignment. You can download some completed assignments if you've got any questions, and to inspire you to complete yours even better, then you download the template in Word, you complete it, you upload it and submit it as complete. So that's a little bit of a look inside the sneak peek that you can access. And then finally, I just want to show you the career assessment page. So this is the assessment page. It's got all the different things. And I'm sure by now you all know BPMN, Business Process Modeling Notation. And so you can see the whole entire process, step by step, what is going to happen. Submit your CV and all these kind of things. And if you don't like BPMN, here are all the different steps that you can go through as well. There is quite a lot to do on this one. And if you click the About Us, you can see a little bit about, so it's myself over here, and then it's Petro, who's our managing director. She's been with us for 4 years. 𝗕𝗏𝗏 is the South African director, and Marcus Hudekang is the regional director for Canada. Okay, let us get back to the presentation. Let me just get the screen going again. Okay, and then the next question is again for you, 𝗕𝗏𝗏. So let's just go and have a look at the next question. What are you enjoying most in the Gold Mentoring Program?
Sure. Initially when I started, it was a little bit uncomfortable, but as I gained momentum, I'm enjoying the fact that, the program is structured in such a way that you don't only get the theory. Mark will give you the theory through videos and through the Zoom calls, but you still need to do the work. And the reality is, if you don't do the work, it will not get done. There's a song, I forgot the singer right now, it doesn't come to mind. The singer doesn't come to mind. But I felt that, it's like I've been to everywhere. I've been to California. I've been to all these places, but I've never been to myself. So what I like about this course is that it forces you to be to yourself as far as your career and your future is concerned. That for me is the highlight.
I do apologize, I was on mute. So I just quickly asked AI. It's called I've Never Been to Me. That's the name of the song. I love that song. It's a really good one. It also slipped my mind. So just off the cuff, let me just ask you, and this is not planned at all because it's not part of the slides. What did you think of my dedicated support throughout the program? You've got VIP access to me on WhatsApp. You've got these mentoring sessions. You've got emails. How quick do I respond when you ask me a question?
Yo, Mark is efficient. Like, you know, if I ask him a question on WhatsApp, I know that it will not take more than 30 minutes unless he's in a session. But if he's not in a session, he's available, I tell you immediately, I send the message, few seconds or few minutes later, the response is right there. So yeah, his accessibility is brilliant.
Wonderful. Yes, so it's free lifetime support when you sign up for Gold. Now that's saying something, because if you're in a contract position, or even if you're in a permanent or a consulting position, you've seen the job description, you've had an interview, you've convinced them that you can do the work and they've given you the job. You can't really go and ask your colleagues how to do this and how to do that and how to do that. You can't really go to your family and friends because, you know, they don't know business analysis. So you come straight to me. You need anything, you need a template, I will answer during the Gold Mentoring Program, 4 hours. Within 4 hours is my SLA, my service level agreement. Either I know the answer and I'll get back to you, or Petra will make a post on LinkedIn and get the answer, because I've got just over 8,800 first degree connections on LinkedIn that are business analysts, and I never ask for anything. I post every day. I put an article on it every month. And once in 2022, somebody needed a template. I got 3 templates within 20 minutes. I chose the best one, tested it. Within the 4-hour turnaround, I sent it in, and Petra is absolutely fantastic at AI as well. She uses it every day. And so if we can't answer the question, she'll go find if you can't find the answer, she'll go find the answer, present it to me. I'll make sure it works, and then I'll give it to you. So that's a really good thing about this this mentoring program as well. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. We're going to have to go side by side here. So these are the key focus areas for Pillar 4 that we are discussing here today. And we start with a gap analysis. So basically, there is a tool that you can do here. Even 𝗕𝗂𝗏 did the 10-day challenge. So we've got a 10-day challenge, absolutely free as well. We're not going to talk about that. We're running a bit out of time. But you can go and do a gap analysis. So you can go and see, you know, where are you now? Where would you like to be in 1 year from today? You know, your as is and your to be state, and what is holding you back and things like that. So you can do a detailed gap analysis there as well. I think Petra is busy pasting them to the screen here as well. There are all the different links in the comments. So that's a really handy tool to go through as well. Right, so this has been part 4 of our 4-part series. As I mentioned, Dora did Pillar 1, 𝗕𝗪𝗽 Pillar 2, Matabele Pillar 3, and 𝗕𝗪𝗏 this Pillar here, Pillar 4. Brings us to the end of this 4-part series. They're all on YouTube, and you can go, and they're in the description of this event. So when you look at the description, then you can see the URLs. They're on our YouTube channel. Go and have a look at them, and 𝗕𝗪𝗏's one will be on tonight as well. Okay, let's have a look. So now, what my goal is, because everybody might want to know, what is my goal? So my goal is to assist you in determining and then securing your dream role quickly. That's the whole idea about it, because there's 2 ways you can do this. You can take massive action to secure your dream role, or you can take no action. You can sign up to Gold and get a proven blueprint on how to get you there, and me as your personal mentor by your side. If you're in South Africa, you're going to get 2 for the price of 1. You're going to get 𝗬𝗏, who's also a senior business analyst contractor earning a lot of money. So when he joined the Gold Mentoring Program, after that or during that, he doubled his income. So he's in South Africa. You're going to get a mentor, me as your mentor, and 𝗬𝗏, because he's actually in the contract market. He can take you through all the pitfalls and things like that. But we want you to secure your dream role quickly. Okay. I think that's basically the end. Yes, that's come to the end of our slides. So if you've got any questions, now would be the time to post them in the comment section. I'm going to have a quick look. I don't see any questions yet. So we'll stay on for a few more minutes until we have answered all the questions. If there are no questions, then you can still type them in the comment section, because we will endeavor to get back to every single comment and post and question. Yeah, we got, I don't know if this is a question. Let's put this on the screen. It says, thank you for the session. Thank you for sharing your insight from the Gold program. I really enjoyed the knowledge and the achievements you shared. Thanks. And there is a Marcus. All right, wonderful. Thank you for that. But that's not a question. So I was mentioning the questions. A lot of people, we had 48 people register for this live event. A lot of people can't make it, or they get a last minute meeting. So I know a lot of you people will be watching the replay of this. And then if you're watching the replay, you can still ask questions in the comment section. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please go and find me on LinkedIn, connect with me, send me a message, send me an email, mark@bmasterminds.com, and we can answer any questions as well. But while we're waiting for questions, I would just like 𝗕𝗂𝗧 to perhaps give us a final few words just from her own side.
Thank you so much, Mark, for the final few words. And thank you again for connecting with me. I do not regret the time that we connected at the summit last year. And thank you so much for the value that you have added into my life. And I just trust that the people that are watching this, they will take this program serious and it will take them to the next level. I know that one of the things that you believe in is that my success, like my personal success, is your success, is the success of your business. So let's journey this together. And yeah, let's change the world for the better. You can only change the world for the better if you are bettering yourself. If you don't better yourself, there's just no way that you will make the world a better place. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. So yes, in this course, we don't get into the afterlife. I believe once you're dead, then you go underground or get cremated. We don't get into that. We don't get into politics. We don't get into, if you're anything, none of that. Okay. None of that. We're all just people at the end of the day. And, you've got one life to lead and you've got a choice to make. You can either have a fantastic life or you can have a rubbish life. You actually are in control of your own destiny. And, what goes a really, really long way to having a good life is money. And that's what this program is about. Because people want to make a lot of money. If you don't want to make a lot of money, don't sign up to Gold, because you're wasting your time. I get on this to show you how to set up your career, your dream role, because a lot of people are in a rubbish role. They maybe, I guess 98% of the people on this planet don't like their job. If you take people that are working in the mines, underground with hard hats and torches and coal and all this, those are horrible jobs. Maybe people flipping burgers at McDonald's or driving 60/60 deliveries, Uber drivers, they're working 12 hours a day. Some people work 3 jobs in a day just to come by, just to make ends meet. So it's all about, having your dream job, a job that you love, that you don't want to put in a sickie for Monday and say, oh, I don't want to go to work. Actually have your dream job, because that's how you're going to excel in work. It'll show if you really like your job or if you're just hiding away and collecting your salary every time. Now, once you've determined the options of what you could become in 3 years, then we nail it down to 1 year. 1 job title, exactly how to get there. We've got 6 focus points that we look on to help you determine that role. And then we get your action steps to achieve your short-term goal. So that's a really good question. What happens if I'm not a BA yet? You need to start somewhere. So basically, I can't mentor somebody who's got less than 1 year experience because it's just too challenging. I've tried and tried, but we do have strategic alliance partners. We've actually got lots and lots of strategic alliance partners that we deal with. I can't do everything myself, like the theoretical knowledge. I outsource that to 4 companies we've got strategic alliance partnerships with. If you want to do FDI, if you want to do IIBA, ECBA, CCBA, and CBAP, or if you want to do the BCS International Diploma. I don't teach business analysis. I used to teach theory in the 80s and the 90s. I remember I used to teach Lotus 1, 2, 3 for BP in Parktown in the 80s. And that was, I enjoyed that, but it's evolving too much. And that's why I don't want to teach AI. I'd leave it up to people like Patrick Giwa. I don't want to teach cloud cybersecurity and all that. I'll leave it up to Mark Cross. The experts, the ones that want to deal with this. I deal with, improving your confidence, determining your goals, and setting up an action step to achieve your goals and holding you accountable to achieve those goals. That's where I focus on. So to answer your question, Mr. LinkedIn user, whoever you are, if you want to get started, then basically you need to, there's two things that you need to become a successful business owner. Only two things: theoretical knowledge, practical experience. So that's where you start. Go and learn the theory. If you want to be a plumber or an electrician or an Uber driver or a business analyst or a solution architect or a project manager, we all need to learn the theory so that you learn in class from a teacher, and not a certificate of completion, but a certificate of competence, which you study for and you write an exam and you pass. So then you know that you've retained the knowledge. So that's the first step. Perhaps look at the 𝗚𝗵𝗍 from IIBA, or approach the FDI, or approach me or the BCS, and we can get you a quotation. So as I mentioned, the BCS diploma, 10 days, and then you learn all the theory. That's what springboarded me into my business analysis career in 2015. And then basically, once you've got the theoretical knowledge, you now need to redevelop your CV, showcasing your transferable skills. So what are transferable skills? Well, even if you had a job at McDonald's flipping burgers, you dealt with difficult customers, right? These are called stakeholders in the business analysis environment. And that's how you can, mention your transferable skills. If you deal with money, if you deal with people, if you use a computer, if you're good with Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Windows, you add that all as skills to your CV to showcase, that you actually have got some transferable skills in business analysis. And then you've got all the theory. And then the best way to start is either through an internship program. So in other words, you pay a company some money. We've got a list of all the internship companies. Just email me, ask me for the list. And then you can approach them. They need your money. So you pay them a bit of money once you've got all the theoretical knowledge, so you know what you're doing, and they will place you at a live client site underneath a mentor that will actually guide you through and help you do some of the tasks. So show you how to use Visio and do the as-is and to-be, some requirements gathering, some technical reporting, so that you can start gaining practical experience by converting your theoretical knowledge. And then you can go and volunteer for a company. Perhaps look at your company you already work for. If it's an IT type of company, everyone's got computers, then you can go find out who are the BAs, who do they report to. It's usually a project manager or a lead BA, and go and approach them and ask them if you can volunteer on a part-time basis so that you can, gain some practical experience. And then you again update your CV, and then you go and apply for a junior business analyst role. You work there maybe 6 months, and then you redo your CV again, and now you've got a real job as a business analyst, and now you can start applying for business analyst roles and start earning more money. Okay, let's see if we've got any more questions. That's the only one. So I'd like to thank everybody for their time. I'm very conscious of everybody's time. It's a commodity that we can never get back. And so thank you for your time, and see you all in the next session. We have them twice a month. So once in the middle of the month, once at the end of the month. I'm actually off to Belgium and the Netherlands and London on the 16th of May. And then I'm coming back on the 31st of May. So I'll be presenting at BA and Beyond 2026 with Philippe Hendricks, and the president or the CEO of the IIBA, Delvin Fletcher. He's going to have us in a roundtable, a fireside conversation, 6 of us, international speakers. So I'm very excited, looking forward to that. I'm also attending in the Netherlands, in Utrecht, at BA and Beyond 2026. So I'm going to be networking with a lot of business analysts, gaining experience, getting new knowledge, and elevate my status as the authority in business analysis recruitment. All right, that's my chosen niche. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your questions, and have a great day further. Thank you.